If your home has been sitting on the market for more than 90 days here in Central Florida right now, I need you to hear this. Pricing a home is the most quintessential thing that you need to do in order to sell a house. Not the photography, not the staging, not the open house, the price. And in 2026, getting it wrong by even 5% here in Central Florida can cost you more than what some people make in a year. I'm Pedro with eXp Realty, and today I'm gonna show you how to price a $600,000 to $1 million home and walk you through the process and data I utilize to make sure your home is priced correctly and successful. And this is not theory, all right? This is exactly what I do every day, my bread and butter. And at the end of the video, you will understand if your house is underpriced, overpriced, or if you're leaving money on the table trying to sell it. All right, so let's do this. All right, so here's what we're gonna cover today. First, why most of the homes are priced wrong since day one and what that costs to sellers. Second, the 4 inputs I use to price a home strategically. Third, the days on market risk model. Fourth, the psychology behind a $600,000 home purchase. And fifth, how to know if a price reduction is the right move or just panic. Now, if you're thinking about selling your home in the next 30 to 90 days, you are doing the right thing. You are doing the research, you are doing your due diligence. And if you want to know specifically how much your home is worth based on real data, there's a link in the description below. Just drop your address there and I'll send you exactly how much your home is worth and things that we can do to sell it at the highest price and of course at the lowest time as possible. All right, so now let's dive into what matters. All right, so the number one mistake I see sellers make, especially in the $600,000 plus range, is anchoring their price to what they want to net rather what the market will actually pay. Here's the hard truth, okay? The market do not care what you paid for your home. It does not care what you need to clear. It does not care about your renovations unless those renovations directly translate to comparable sale value. The market is one thing. It is what a ready, willing, and able buyer will pay in today's conditions. And in 2026, Central Florida's luxury segment has shifted. You probably noticed inventory is up. Interest rates are still keeping some buyers on the sidelines, and buyers at this price point are doing their homework. They have Zillow, they have Redfin, and they have a buyer's agent who is going to pull every comp in a 5-mile radius before their client makes an offer. So if you come in overpriced, buyers do not just skip your listing. They're going to mentally file it away as the house have something wrong. And that perception is very hard to recover from, all right? Now, when I sit down with the seller, here are the 4 inputs I use to build a price, not guess a price, all right? So input number 1, closed comparables within the last 90 days, not 180, all right? Not a year, 90 days. The market moves fast enough that anything older starts to distort your picture. Input number 2, active competition. What is your home actually competing against right now? If there are, for example, 5 similar homes in your price range and yours is the least updated, you are not the same product. You need to price accordingly, all right? Input number 3, days on market patterns by price band. I'm gonna cover this in depth in a moment, but this is where most agents skip a step that costs sellers real money, all right? And input number 4, seller timeline. If you need to close in 45 days, that is a pricing constraint. If you have 6 months or flexibility, your strategy looks different. Timelines are not just a detail, it's an input. And of course, when you combine all four of these, you are not just picking a number, you are building a positioning strategy. All right? Now I want you to look at those numbers. The seller who came in overpriced at $630,000 walked away with $581,000 after chasing the market down for 90 days. The seller who used a strategic underlist strategy walked away with $608,000 in less than a week. Same home, different strategy, different outcome. And this is what I want you to understand. I'm not saying this is the only strategy for you to succeed. Okay? I'm just telling you this is one of the strategies that we could use to make sure you get the most amount of money at the least amount of time possible. Now, this is the table I walk every seller through before we go live. Because days on market is not just a number. All right? It's a signal that buyers and their agents read very carefully. In the first 2 weeks, buyers feel urgency. They assume competition, they come in strong. After 30 days, buyer behavior shifts. Now they are asking, what is wrong with this house? After 6 days, they're asking, how low will they go, right? And there is the part that most sellers do not see coming. Every price reduction you make after sitting on the market is public. Buyers can see your original list price, your reduced price, and how many times you have cut it. Each reduction is a signal of your desperation. Each one erodes your negotiation leverage. So you have to keep that in mind, seller, okay? And the way to avoid this entirely is to price it right since day one. Not aggressively low, of course, not wishfully high, strategically right. That is the whole game right now. And here's something that changes everything at the luxury tier. And when I say luxury, I'm considering anything that is above $600,000, all right? And buyers above this range, they are not making emotional impulse decisions. They have advisors, they have agents, they have accountants. They are comparing your home to 3 to 5 alternatives and running a value analysis before they write an offer. That means your price is not just competing for emotional resonance, it is competing on a spreadsheet. Okay? So what this means for pricing strategy is that you have less room for error. Entry-level buyers sometimes fall in love and overpay. Luxury buyers almost never do. They will pay full price and sometimes over for a home that is clearly worth it. But they will walk away from a home that feels overpriced even by 3-5% because they see it as a sign that the seller is not realistic to work with. And I always tell my seller at this level, your price is your first negotiation. If you're starting wrong, you lose before anyone even picks up the phone, okay? And is a price reduction the right move or just panic? So let me give you my honest framework for when a price reduction makes sense versus when it's just panic. A reduction makes sense when you have had strong showing activity but no offers after 21 to 30 days. Meaning buyers are interested, but your price is the final objection. Also, when comparable sales in your neighborhood have come in below your list price, meaning the market has given you new data. Or when your timeline has compressed and you need to create urgency, right? And a reduction is panic when you have only been on the market 10 to 12 days, the showing volume is still healthy, and you are just anxious. Dropping your price in the first 2 weeks signals desperation to the exact buyers you need to stay confident. All right. So the move I recommend instead is a strategic pause review. At day 21, we sit down and look at 3 things: showing count, agent feedback, and fresh comps. If all three point toward a pricing issue, we adjust with intention. If one or two are noise, we hold it, okay? Pricing decisions should always be data driven, all right? Never emotional. All right, so here's what I wanted you to take away from this video. Pricing a home is not a guesswork. It's not an emotional thing, okay? Whenever we're pricing a home in Central Florida in 2026, we need to use real data. Maybe you are attached to your home, you have memories in your home, you are attached to everything you did, every upgrade you did, every memory you have. But remember, that is for you, not for your buyer. So if you still want to be the person that has the highest bid in your home, you should stay in it. Okay, so now if you want to sell it, you need to sell it strategically. And that's why we have this 4-input model strategy. So make sure whenever you're ready to sell a home, you dive into those 4 steps before you make a move. And if you don't want to guess, if you need help with that, feel free to reach out to me. There is a link in the description below. We can set up a 30-minute call to talk, and I'll make sure I help you determine your next steps and price your home correctly. All right. And if you're sitting on the market for over 90 days, we also should talk. There's something I can do for you. Let's have that call, because agents right now, they're not setting up the expectations correctly. And maybe you, seller, are feeling frustrated and are feeling angry or mad because your house is sitting and wondering, what is wrong with my house at this point, right? And if you're looking to sell your house in the next 30 to 90 days, let's definitely talk, because you need to understand exactly how not to leave money on the table. Okay, so this is Pedro. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you stayed at this point, that means you're interested in selling. So if that's the case, you already know what to do. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.